Well, the head of the world's largest energy company says current international plans to transition from fossil fuels to renewable energy are failing. Speaking at the Singapore International Energy Week, Saudi Aramco's Amin Nasser gave several reasons for the shortcomings, including affordability of renewables.
Planners must stop assuming the world can replace its conventional energy needs with half-baked alternatives almost overnight, particularly in the global south. This assumption is seriously discouraging investment in these crucial conventional sources. Let's be clear, all sources of energy will be required for decades to come. Planners must also abandon the belief that a single plan can meet the needs of more than 200 countries.
Mr. Nasser noted that demand for oil in Asia, and particular in the global south, is expected to continue to grow as economies develop. He said Asia is crucial to the progress of any energy transition as it consumes more than half global energy supplies. But the region still relies on conventional resources for 84% of its needs, and current alternatives are mostly meeting growth in consumption and not, in fact, replacing that demand. In a far-side chat at CNA's Elizabeth New, Mr. Nasser laid out the details of what he sees as a feasible new energy plan.
Now, you made some crucial points there, the first being Asia's voice and priorities, like the broader global south, as you said, is largely absent from the current energy transition planning. And you talked about this transition 2.0. How do you expect your ideas to be received by this so-called influential minority that has been pushing for and forecasting this drastic drop in oil use?
Asia is very important and critical. As I said, more than 50% of the world population is in Asia, 50% of the GDP, 60 to 70% of the economic growth, we are seeing it in Asia. Basically, the whole also global south matters very when it comes to energy transition, considering these are developing countries and they need to develop over time. What we are asking for is that we need to be pragmatic, and one size fits all is not going to work. What we need to tackle first is the emission, and we need to have investment to reduce our carbon footprint by using CCUS and other efficiency improvements and all of it, while we are building the renewables. We should not be shifting to something or a plan B without making sure plan A is affordable, shifting to plan B without making sure that plan B is affordable to the majority of the people. So what we need is to invest in technologies over the long term to help us reduce the cost of renewables and the new energies and hydrogens and solar and wind, to ensure that what we are availing to the masses is secure and affordable. If we don't do that, coal is going to increase. We predicted coal peaked 5 times so far, 5 times. Last year, coal increased by 2 million barrels of oil equivalent. This is how much coal increased last year. I don't think the transition is healthy, just looking at what's happening in coal alone. So affordability is an issue, security of supply is an issue. Unless you have secure and affordable, you cannot meet your sustainability.
Indeed, and you also talked about, the progress of energy transition. You're saying that it's far too slow, not equitable enough, and also too complicated. What have you seen on the ground? And given that we're not at peak oil yet, given the growing demands from the global south and also, the rising standards of living that we're seeing there, how do you expect this to play into a global forecasts? Are current forecasts perhaps still realistic then?
Let's look at the numbers, because, numbers can explain everything. Today, we are at record level in oil. This year, our predictions will be 104.5. Gas increased by 70% from 2000 to today. Coal at record level at 8.7 billion tons. So all conventional energy is increasing. So we need to build the renewables. I mean, we are the biggest, the kingdom will be shifting to 50% renewable in the energy sector by 2030, 50%. So we are for that. But at the same time, our gas by 2030 will increase by 60%. More than 60%, by the way. So we need to invest in all sources of energy at the same time to make sure it is going to be affordable for the people. At the same time, we need to build the new. We need to work on technology and innovation. We need to provide, as I said, energy that is secure, affordable, and sustainable. You cannot talk about sustainability without making sure you ensure security and affordability.